Try 10, y'all. It's swim lessons, baby.
Comedy.
Comedy. Start off with Mark Norman bits.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, thanks for doing this, man. It's so good to see you. We've been trying to do this for a minute, man. And,
it's been a while since we've even seen each other. So
yeah. How you been?
Can't complain. When just rough. No, I mean, like, I'm just always doing stuff. So it's
right.
Like, whenever anybody's like, how's it going? I'm like,
rough.
It's going good. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I was drunk again last night. So.
How is the comedy scene here in Fargo?
Comedy scene in Fargo rules, actually. Like, the Cellar is one of the best clubs. I mean, it's a 90-seater club, which is about perfect, spread out wide rather than long, too. And, I mean, Louis C.K. came here, and Tim Dillon, and they're guys that, like, reached out to the Cellar to do it on their different tours, so.
How was Tim Dillon?
Tim Dillon was crazy good. It was, Louis C.K. also is, I mean.
Yeah, the GOAT.
And yeah, seeing him live in a setting like that was insane because you're like, I'll never be able to do this. I'm like, well, I might as well give up.
Yeah.
Because you're seeing the top. Same with Tim Dillon. I mean, just the way he looks at stuff and is able to talk.
His podcast is one of the best.
Yeah, being able to do everything by yourself for that long is wild, especially talking about politics and and putting such a ridiculous spin on everything.
Yeah, he's got a unique talent for sure. What was Louis like? What was his set like?
I mean, it's his special that just got released.
Oh,
it was the beginning of that. So that was at like the beginning of the tour. So seeing like all the meat and bones right at the beginning. It's kind of like, that's the coolest part about seeing comics early in their tours before they release the specials. You kind of get to see where it started, and then when they release the special, what it, like, the full meal is.
Yeah, he was just on Tetragrammaton with Rick Rubin, his podcast, Rick Rubin's, and Rick's like, hey, Louis, how do you know when you have something good? And Louis had this really profound answer where he's like, sometimes I'll know it's good right away, and I'll get a really good, easy, cheap laugh, if you will, and I'll just throw that joke out, and I'll work on something that bombs. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that is wild. I don't have that. If I think something's funny, I'm like, I'm going to use that. And if I get a laugh, I continue to do that.
So what have you been doing lately with comedy? Like, have you been touring around at all, or just doing some?
Around here, it kind of slows down in the summer, just because people are out at the lakes. But I mean, we'll throw some shows, obviously, but you're not getting the crowds in North Dakota, Minnesota in the summer that you are in the other places. So, I mean, just do the 3 mics a week and then try to get shows every once in a while in the summer. I've driven to Minneapolis a couple times to do shows in the summer just because then there's other ones I can hop on and things like that there. But it is kind of nice because, like, Labor Day through Memorial Day weekend, it's just like every weekend doing shows. So then you're like, well, I don't actually see my real friends as much. So that's kind of the fun thing about the summer, just to be able to do stuff that you're not kind of like a break for that, but
regroup a little bit.
Yeah. Yep. I don't even know about regroup.
Right.
I still kind of do the same stuff all the time, just without doing as many shows.
Have you ever thought about just packing up your bags and heading south to Austin and just trying to do Kill Tony every week?
Yeah, every week. No. I mean, I was down in Austin for a week.
How was that?
Earlier. That was fun. I mean, the Austin scene is different than other scenes. They have, like, I was on a couple shows that are like theme shows where it's not just like regular stand-up, where one was like, oh, you get 5 minutes, but you can get gonged off. They call it like a gong show. So it's like, if people don't like you, they can hit a gong. And then you're like, oh, whoa. And then a different show I was on was called like the Hamburger Club. That they
That's a great name.
It is, and they do like a Jeopardy style. They do like a Jeopardy style game show. But then if you make the crowd laugh, you get the points. And if you don't, then you just bomb a joke. And I did both of those things a few times, and I'm like, this is a good joke. And they're like, no, it wasn't. I'm like, okay, whatever. But you just deal with the punches all the time anyway. I think learning to bomb at any time is one of the biggest things.
That's like the most, I did a little stand-up when I was living in Scottsdale, like we were talking about. And I went to Jill Kimmel's comedy show, Jimmy Kimmel's sister. And it was at this place called Dos Gringos, which was a Mexican restaurant. And dude, it was like built to bomb. I felt like, because you'd go up there and the only other people that would be there would be like 10 other comedians.
Yep.
So they're not really there to laugh. They're there to work on their shit and then get out and then go to the next one.
Definitely.
So it was tough, but like I enjoyed it because I feel like if you bomb as a stand-up comedian, you don't really care what else happens that day because you've already been through the toughest part that anybody could ever go through.
Yeah, or it's all that you think about, and you're like, I'm a piece of shit.
I suck.
Like, why am I even trying this whatsoever?
But I feel like there's a certain unique like ability that gets developed by bombing, and you just know, okay, I'm glad that's over. And I know what that feeling was like, but I'm going to try to not have that feeling again. And it makes you work harder.
Well, I was learning to just not care. I mean, nothing matters. I mean, like that sounds like nihilistic, but at the end of the day, what matters? That you're just like, are you having fun? Are you a good person? Like, people worry too much about everything that's going on. When I'm like, nothing matters. So like, just kind of learning some of that stuff. Well, there was a showcase. Like that's where like just a bunch of local comics kind of do shorter sets and stuff, There was a showcase like last week, and I was in like one of the group chats, and they're like, this one comic was like, "Don't get your heads down. You guys did it all. It was all that crowd." And then I messaged that comic being like, "What are you, a coach?" I was like, maybe I'm like, and I'm not talking shit about them or anything like that, dude. It's just like sometimes like the crowds aren't as hot, but I just also don't think you should ever really blame everything on the crowd, because it's like, if you get dialed in, there should be at least a couple people that you're gonna make laugh.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Even though sometimes it's against you, then it's just kind of figuring out how to get that. Well, I mean, we did a show where I would say that I halfway's bombed, but was kind of finding the people. And God, it was some small town bar, but there was a lot of people there. And then it's like small town Minnesota bar where there's a lot of vets in there, like older guys, and sometimes older people still. I mean, I make a lot of dumb, like 18 to 35-year-old humor, I'd say, but you can get everyone at some point, But I have like a joke about how there's been no advancements in homeless sign making technology.
Nice. I've seen that online.
Yeah. And then, but then at one point, I'm like, they're all holding their sign. It's like homeless veteran. You can lie. They all lie. Like, like when I become homeless, I'll have a sign. This is homeless veteran. They lie. They all lie. And I'm like, I should have changed the wording there, because all the vets in front were just like, I'm like, there's like the last World War II vets. I'm like, you can lie about being a veteran.
So have you watched the movie Rat Race?
Yes, it's been a hot minute though.
Dude, when they crashed the car after the Hitler Museum, and he burns his lip, and he's like, and then old timer gets his gun and just shoots.
Yeah. That is funny because you kind of did a Japanese accent.
Yeah, that was a little.
Oy, oy, oy.
That was a little much. But no, yeah, I love stand-ups. It feels like it's a unique time for stand-up because it's fun to be dangerous again. I know a lot of comedians have said that, where there are lines in the sand, but you got shows like Kill Tony that are just taking off. And
yeah, I think that's I was in the pit for Kill Tony twice to try to get on there, obviously, but I mean, you just get the bucket pull or whatever. But some of those guys, that's one of the other things about it though, is everyone thinks that you need to go to Austin now to be like
somebody.
I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna get on Kill Tony and I'm gonna be awesome, but they only have a minute of material.
Right.
So then I'm like, well, if you get a show from that, it does skyrocket some people's careers a ton. I mean, undeniably. And it's not like, I'm not one of those people that's like, it's the worst thing ever. Because some people, they just don't like Hinchcliffe or they don't like
Rogan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they're like, that's the worst show ever. Look at those Manosphere guys or whatever. I'm like, they do a lot for helping comedians. But I think there's also a lot of comedians that think that they'll get famous right away and go down there, and then don't realize you got to put in the work, or like you're selling your company to be like, this is where I'm going to go, and then you haven't done it yet.
Right. This episode of Swim Lessons, a podcast, is brought to you by PSP Network, your home for live broadcasts and streaming of high school sports right here in North Dakota. PSP Network prides themselves on telling the story of our local athletes the only way possible. From the grassroots to the gyms to the rinks and to the fields, PSP Network gives these student athletes a platform and a spotlight they've earned. When you support PSP Network, you're not just watching sports, you're helping build a legacy for North Dakota athletics, one broadcast at a time. Subscribe to PSP Network on the YouTube channel at PSP Network. Appreciate them giving us a chance with this sponsorship. Now, back to the show.
Like, wait until you're kind of good at it. But like after one of my shows, one of the craziest things was Nick Swartzen was in my green room because I was like, helping for Jeff Dye at the Sanctuary.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then I went, they're like, hey, Nick Swartzen's in your green room if you want to go down there. I'm like, well, I'm not going to go down there alone. I'm going to wait till Jeff is with me. I'm not going to be like, hey, hi. This is weird.
Right.
But yeah, then Jeff had to go do his stuff or like meet and greet stuff. So I was just talking to Swartzen and he's like, you don't got to move. And he's like, if you get good enough, I mean, like, but here's the thing. I think you do got to move. But he was like, well, I didn't right away. And I'm like, yeah, but you got famous immediately. Like there's a difference. He was being nice. I wasn't like, but it is funny to look. I'm like, oh yeah, I probably could like just get good and then wait to make a move, which is kind of my plan here.
Yeah, man.
But it is funny, like a famous person being like, just move. I got famous right away. You're like, okay, yeah.
But it's like you kind of have to have that mindset though.
That is the thing is it's like, yeah, I think part of it is just, I mean, if we're getting to the nitty gritty things where like just learning to do stuff yourself was something that took me a long time to do. I probably would have started stand-up 10 years earlier, which I should have. But one day I just told my friends that I'm not going to volleyball that night and then just went to an open mic.
Hell yeah.
And then I was like, this is what I want to do. But it took me forever to do it. And just because I was scared to do stuff myself, like I'm a super gregarious person and always outgoing and with someone, but I never did stuff myself until stand up. And then it's like, it's all by yourself. You got to make all your opportunities. Like if there's not shows going on, you got to call bars to get shows going on and things like that, and create your own, then network to get other comics to like you to hang out too. So it's like, but it's all you, so it is kind of like a nice thing to like, that's something that like comedy helped me overcome, was just like being able to do stuff myself.
That's why I think I really root for you. And I got I have a lot of respect for you because you're a dreamer like me.
Yeah.
And it is up to you. Like it's up to, you're kind of an entrepreneur in a sense where you just have to go. You just have to do it. And also, man, I really like you because, okay, remind me, are you from Mott or Regent?
Mott.
You're from Mott.
Yeah.
Because don't get those two mixed up.
You
don't get those two mixed
Actually,
up.
sometimes though, I'm like, I kind of wish I was from Regent.
Yeah, Regent's kind of badass.
I know. And you have the Enchanted Highway. Mott is just like, pheasant capital of the world.
Yeah.
Like,
let's go shoot some birds.
Yeah. Like Roger Maris married a woman from here. So
he did?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Carvel.
Whoa.
There. So he would come back there. They said that he'd be in the bar with like his PR guy.
Whoa.
The bar in Mott, but they'd be like, yeah, Roger's the man. 5 pheasants go up and 5 go down. And all the locals are like, well, better not be shooting 5 because the limit's 2.
3, yeah.
Whatever it was at that time. So you're like, but yeah, the Mott does have a few quirks and like famous things. Like it's on the Globe, like a famous globe maker.
Whoa, I didn't know
if you look, there's like one factory that makes globes that it has Mott on it. It's like Los Angeles, New York, Mott. And it's because the guy like lived there for a little bit.
That's awesome.
Yeah, once you start looking at some globes, it's wild to like figure that out.
When did you graduate high school?
2008.
Okay, because you were a quarterback, right?
Receiver.
You were a receiver.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys had some really good football teams. I remember.
Yeah.
Because it was always us versus Divide County, Ma Regent.
Yep.
You guys usually got the best of us, by the way. You bastards.
I was trying to think, how many times did we play against?
Oh man, it was a lot. But it was always at the end to go to state.
Yeah, because it'd be in playoffs for sure.
And this is me dialing way back in my brain. Did you break both your arms?
I did.
Okay. Yeah. During the football season, but you still played?
Yeah. I broke my one arm in the first round of playoffs against some team or whatever like that. And then because my thumb got detached.
Oh, God.
The tendon tore off. And I went off the side of the field. I'm like, my thumb isn't attached. So like, just tape it back up. And then I'm like, well, we're probably going to state. So can we just delay surgery? They're like, well, it's not going to get any better. So sure.
Mm-hmm.
So then, I'm like, I'll just delay surgery for that and play. So then I played another game or two with a broken hand, but then broke my other hand.
Oh my!
So I didn't get to play Divide County that year.
Oh,
and then the state championship year, it was me and Brock Eon were like the names if you want to like put it on there. Like I was like, I should have just I was like, you had Carson Wentz on here. I should just slide you my stats. I had 35 yards per touch senior year. So, but that was funny, not to like talk about like being good, but I averaged 35 yards per touch, which I found out just reading an article. And then my Brock Eon averaged 13 yards per carry. So, so you're like, those are just...
It's like Madden stats.
Yeah, the dumbest stats ever. You're like 9 man.
Right.
Like, so it's just all go. But it like that was how good our team was. That and I broke both my arms, so couldn't play in the state championship.
You were a senior too?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
and then Brock Eon broke his arm, like shattered his arm. So like the two best players couldn't play in this championship game, and we won by 2.
Wow.
So we were like
pretty
good.
Damn good.
Yeah.
Ron Benson was the coach there. Right?
Yeah.
Dude, he's one of my favorite humans.
He's the man.
He was the coach when I made the Shrine Bowl. He was one of the offensive coordinators, and I adore that guy. Like he is the best of the best. Yeah,
he was funny too. He it was I think that like, well, again, just like not caring about stuff.
Like, he didn't care.
Well, he didn't care. Also, I didn't care, which he didn't care for.
Right.
Sometimes because it was like, do you know Elliot Kirschman by any?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Me and him. I remember one time he was just like, he got up to us. He was like, fuck around. Is that all you guys do? I was like, maybe I should have like done other stuff. But then, well, and Brock was also like the golden child of Benson in a sense. So he dropped us like 3 miles out of town. It was like running into town, like the whole team.
Whoa.
But me and Elliot Kirschman are like, I'm a sprinter. I don't like do hurdles. I don't need to run this. So we cut across the fields.
Didn't take gravel.
No, not like you're supposed to, because he had it. And then our buddy Brock also ran with us. And then the girl, we saw one of our friends, like this chick's driving by. We're like, oh, give us a ride. And we hop in. Then Benson starts coming down the road. We're like, oh, let us out. Let us out. So we got out, though. I don't think that he saw us get out of the car, but he knew that we ran through the field because we were just in a random spot.
Right.
And he was like, guys, you could have got Brock hurt. We're like, could have got Brock hurt. You could have got me hurt.
Did you have any? So Luke Honeyman's one of my better friends.
Nice. Yeah.
He's the best.
My cousin.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow. It's a small world. I love Luke. He's the best.
Yep. Yeah. My parents are like grandparent age. Mm-hmm. So actually his dad is like my first cousin. He's like my first cousin once removed or whatever.
Oh, Jim?
Yeah, Jim.
Okay. Yeah, I like Jim. He's I just saw him at the state fair. He's
nice.
Still a badass too.
Yeah, dude. They're all Those are all like the goofiest kids.
The nicest kids too.
Yeah.
Like going to college with Luke was the best because he was like he's kind of quiet, but yet he would go to a party and he was like the life of the party.
Oh yeah.
And I was used to being life of the party. So then we were two combined forces and the party was just off the rocks and it was so fun. Hey everybody, Glasso Angus, they're the backbone of this episode of Swim Lessons, a podcast, and guess what? They've been the backbone of quality beef genetics on the Northern Plains since 1973. Glasso Angus is your premier source for registered Black Angus cattle, and guess what? They bring dominance, durability, and docility to every operation they're a part of, and they're bred to not just survive, but thrive right here in some of these harsh prairie paradise conditions. Whether you're building a herd, improving your calf crop, or looking for rock-solid, proven genetics backed by decades of experience, Glasso Angus has the stock to move your program forward. Support the people who support shows like this. Check out their lineup, sale information, and more at glossoangus.com. That's Glasso, Glasoe, Angus.com. But, okay, so then after, obviously, high school, when did you decide, you kind of mentioned it there a little bit, but when did you decide, okay, Blaise, I gotta dig in here a little bit. I want to do stand-up comedy. What was like a factor in that?
I think just partially not knowing. I mean, still to this day, being like, I knew I've always wanted to do stuff like that, but then just haven't, And then I went to like open mics and saw them earlier, being like, I can do this, and maybe even listening to different podcasts is where I was just kind of listening to it, and people being like, just go. I'm a stand-up comic. This is what I do. I'm like, oh, cool. So yeah, I guess it was like 4 years ago, because just coming up on 4 years was like when I started, and that was yeah, I think the deciding factor was just like, I got to do something that I just care about, because I don't care about like the work, like regular work and things like that. I'm like, well, I can do something like this. And I think like I am all right at it. Like my whole life, I'm consistently goofing around.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't take stuff serious, like almost to a fault. Is where, so I'm like, well, I might as well just start doing this and telling people. Like my friends laugh at things that I say, so why not try it and see if other people laugh?
Yeah, the least you can do is try, and it fails and just get better.
Yeah, exactly. And now it's actually I get more eye rolls from my friends, and then other people laugh.
What about your? I woke up for this. I almost call it your mom's house.
Segura. Your mom's house.
How about Segura getting divorced?
I know. Me and Markway get divorced. Yeah, Segura getting divorced is a wild thing, because their whole thing was like
them.
This is a happy. Like you always thought, like they're always riffing on each other, but nothing seems like bad,
right? I did see like somebody clipped a part from your mom's house where this guy's like, is it tough when Tommy is always on tour? And the wife's like, it's really hard.
Yeah.
Did you see that too?
I saw that too. Yeah, because that was that one senator or whatever, the guy from SNL.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and like, yeah, you could see a little bit there being like, I don't like to take stuff from that podcast a lot, because obviously she might play that up a little bit too on the podcast. But I'm sure, yeah, she said, I think even in that clip, she said, the home life is tough alone.
And they got kids too.
Yeah, they got 2 kids.
That's why I'm not like, I love being a dad, because I have a son and we have another daughter here on the way.
Nice, congrats.
Thank you, brother. And it's awesome to be a dad, but there is like this unique part, like what you're doing right now, where you can just pack up, go find a different job, or go to Minneapolis, go to Austin, go to LA, wherever you want to go, and just be there and start over and just keep going after this comedy thing. I mean, every day you wake up, you got to think, okay, today might be the day. Today might be the day. And that's exciting, man. I mean, also, I'm having a brain fart here, but what's the name of your co-host on?
Markway.
By the way, everybody go follow I Woke Up For This. I love the shows you do.
Oh, thank you.
I try to watch as much as I can. But Mark is really funny too.
Yeah, and actually his name's Markway Belcher. So we call him like Marquay.
Wow.
So we call him Quay because he doesn't like being called Mark.
Really?
Yeah. Because like it's funny because you'll just be like, I'm Markway. And I always like when I initially started comedy and like hanging out with him too, I'm like, oh, his name's Mark Way, like his last name. Mm-hmm. It's like, no, it's Mark Way.
Mark Way.
So now I'm like, well, tell people your name's Quay.
Yeah.
If you don't.
How does he get introduced on stage?
He says Markway Belcher. If you say the full thing.
Markway Belcher.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he's really funny too. He's
the
man.
Dude. Markway is the nicest dude in the world.
But you guys have like a nice rhythm with those interviews. You know what I mean? Like you two are on each side, and then you got whoever you're interviewing in the middle. Like the Miss North Dakota one was hilarious, by the way. That was awesome, dude. And Mark Quay's like bouncing stuff, but you guys just read and react with each other so well, and not everybody does that.
Yeah, we do. I mean, we do have a really good chemistry. I think it's just because we get along well. Mm-hmm. And the funny thing is like, there's a difference about like making friends when you're older. So it's like, I'm still always learning different things about him because we didn't grow up together. You know, we've only met each other. Well, I met him doing comedy like 4 years ago. Then really like probably started hanging out with him like a year into that, you know? So knowing each other for 3 years and then just getting along and then having, we do have a good rapport because it is, I'll say something dumb. I might say stuff that pushes a little more sometimes because, and not to be like, not mean or anything like that, but like that Miss North Dakota one when she was like, well, I asked her something about if she makes food.
Right.
She said something like, she was like, well, I actually just kind of live off the kindness of others. I'm like,
yeah, I know.
What? And Mark Way was like, oh yeah. I'm like, no, that's a hot chick that you just get food. That's wild. Like, but you know what? Give her props for her own PR.
Right.
She learns how to say, I live off the kindness of others. I never would think that. That's a Miss North Dakota, Miss USA answer. Like you were trained well.
Yeah. What do you eat? I love kindness.
Yeah.
I get along with everybody. No, what do you eat? Like potato, steak? What happens?
Yeah. It's like, well, I live off the kindness of others because guys will just get me stuff. You know, you're like, I'm like, that rules.
That's like winning the lottery genetically. It's like you're set.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, dude, there was one time where girls were like, well, there's stuff happens to hot guys like that. And I'm like, dude, I know like 2 guys that are really good looking. And there's not any time that a girl has been like,
let me take you out to dinner.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like my buddies that are like the most attractive guys I know, what do they get? Girls will come up to them at the bar where other, and other than that, he's still buying their drinks. If you're a hot chick, just, you get whatever.
Yeah.
Guys find you from across the room and will come over and just get you stuff.
Oh yeah. Like when I was living in Scottsdale, we would go to, have you been to Old Town Scottsdale?
Yeah.
Dude, it's like the party of all parties.
Yeah. I was down there with Zach Jovic before, so.
No way. That's my homie. You know Zach?
Yeah. I think that we hung out together with Zach before.
Probably.
Yeah.
But so yeah, Zach is like the best. I might have to edit this out, but I'm gonna tell you the story anyways. So it's my best friend Trevor Tomte's bachelor party.
Yep.
And he's like, hey, I want to come down. I was still living in Scottsdale. I want to come down there and can you set it up to get bottle service and everything? I'm gonna bring a couple buddies. I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. So we set up like this cool bottle service thing where it was like in this separate part of the club where you could do karaoke.
Okay.
So you could still be a part of the club, but it was like a little window area and then do karaoke, whatever. It was something fun. And so we do this and Zach Jovic comes in and he is like, dude, on a comedic level of Chris Farley.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He's just doing the splits. We're talking about a bigger, just for everybody that doesn't know, Zach's a bigger guy. Like he played D-line at Jamestown.
Yeah.
Great athlete. And he's doing the splits for the bottle girl and she is like eating it up. And he is on another level and he starts having a few drinks, whatever. And he loves Captain Morgan. So we're all partying, having a good time. And I look over and the Captain Morgan bottle's empty. And here's Zach with his shirt on, but just sitting in the corner. I'm like, okay, comedy show's over.
Yeah.
But he's the best. That's crazy. You know him too. That's
yeah,
awesome.
because one time, when we were in, I think I was down there. I think they just happened to be down there at the same time as we were, and I think we're in like El Jefe or something. And he was just like same thing.
Yeah,
just going wild. And then at one point, they're just like, okay, you need to leave. You're like on the, and then he just took off his belt and whipped it across the room. It was awesome.
The best. He's the best. I'm leaving some here. Yeah, he's so fun. But anyways, going back to the original story. So Old Town, I lived with 3 guys in this really nice condo, but they're all really like good looking cats.
Yeah.
So we would go out and all the chicks would just flock to them and I'd be sitting there in the corner like, and I was like, I gotta get new friends because these guys are good looking. And like you said, no chick is going to walk up to them. Hey, let me buy you dinner tomorrow.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, do you have bottle service here? I'll hang out with you for a bit.
Yep.
But yeah. If you win the genetic lottery, you've got it made.
Yeah. Being a good looking dude, girls will just hang out with you, but you're not getting anything from it.
Nothing.
So you actually probably don't want to be that good looking because it probably kind of drags you down.
Yeah,
all these dumb bitches.
Well, and I get the feeling too that like some of these better looking guys have trouble talking.
Yes,
they have trouble talking.
Yeah,
they can't. That's one thing that you and I have in our back pocket too. Is like we got a little bit of a silver tongue.
Yep.
And some of these better looking guys, it's like God was creating him. He's like, okay, I'm gonna mold this guy perfect, but I'm not going to let him talk.
Yeah.
So he's going to struggle a little bit, give him a little difficulty.
Yep.
So
it's like a power of the gods. Like that is like a God story where you're like, I don't know, Samson thing where it's like he's good looking with his hair, but
we're going to take his tongue away.
Yeah.
So what's next, man? Like, are you just going to keep doing the Fargo circuit? What's going on?
Yeah, I think, right now, I'm like getting shows and stuff booked up for the fall and summer, but yeah, I am kind of looking at the next move coming up here, figuring out. I was talking to a couple buddies, just like what's my market, what's the best place that I think that I want to go to, and so yeah, I'm an eye on the different places. New York City, Chicago. It probably would be one of the next moves. I think I heard this one time, but you like Ari Shaffir a little bit. Shafir. I like Ari Shaffir.
Yeah. Ari, what's that fest he has? Where like crazy stuff is always going on.
That's not his festival.
Skankfest.
I was at Skank. I'll be at Skankfest, not performing, but I'll be down there.
I heard that's crazy.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Skankfest is the most fun
ever
that you'll ever have.
It's just all comedians doing different shows.
Yeah, dude, and they do so much. It's the Legion of Skanks. So it's like Luis Gomez and like Big J Okerson, and then
the best.
Big J. Yeah, Big J. If there's a way that we can get Big J here soon, that'd be an awesome one. Yeah, he's one of the best out there. But yeah, so it's like those guys, and then Dave Smith was on there, but now he's just doing mostly political stuff.
Yeah, what happened there? Because he was a good comedian, and then he went on Rogan a few times. Then he started getting into debates.
He's still a comedian, but he's just he's libertarian, and he's like really big in libertarianism. So he found his thing that he likes. He has got a big show too.
Some of those debates he gets into, I'm like, wow, he's actually really talented.
Oh, he knows what he's saying.
Things.
Yeah, because I listen to his stuff quite a bit, where it's like, yeah, that's not really a biased thing. It's like, it's not really Democrat or Republican, left, right, I guess what you'd say. He kind of, well, that's one thing too, is why I like hanging out with comics, is at least they're real and know that like the government's fake and things like that. It's like, that's kind of what you got to get into some stuff like that, where it's like, some people only make fun of one side, and you're like, well, this is ridiculous too. Where I think that like Dave Smith and people like that do kind of are able to call people out everywhere. So,
well, and you're giving each other shit, which is important too. So you can't take each other seriously.
Yeah,
where
exactly.
Like so much on social media, it's like, you got to look at Trump this way, and then other people are like, Trump did this wrong, and he said no wars, and then this other guy's like, we needed to go there, and it's just so much this constant battle.
Yeah.
Where if you're in person and you're joking around with each other, it's like, oh, Tom, you think that because you drive a Honda Fury, like
Exactly.
it's like you drive a Honda, that's why you think that way.
Yep.
But I don't know your politics, you don't know mine, but I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of politically homeless. Like, I don't care. I'm just pro America.
That's exactly what I am.
Yeah, and I feel like more people are growing that way.
Yeah.
And not right or left. They're just kind of, I want to be pro United States, whatever's going to better the US.
Yeah, except one time I did say that to people, and they were like, that just means that you are like on this. I'm like, no, it means I genuinely don't care. And then they got mad at me for not taking a stance on stuff. And I'm like, oh my God. I don't really know. That's like one of the few times where I'm like, I'm going to leave this bar. I'm like, you're making me mad about me not having, because then you're just forcing me to have a stance. And then if it wasn't, I'm like, I don't have a stance on this. And then people getting mad because you don't have a stance. You're like, well, now I want to take the other stance.
Yes.
It's against you.
It's like you have to pick a team. You have to pick a tribe.
Yeah.
Why? Yeah. You don't have to pick that, because if that side's wrong, there's no admitting, hey, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
There's no more of that, which sucks.
Yeah.
Or, hey, we were wrong on this one. I'll be honest with you. I say that all the time. I'm wrong a lot.
Yeah. And I'm not. I'm right 100% of the time. But I'm willing to let people know that they're wrong. Yeah.
I love Mark Norman. Do you have any Mark Norman stories at all? He was one of my favorites.
Well, actually, at Skankfest, when because Skankfest does rule. I guess we'll get back into that quick.
Yeah.
They comics do just run around, like they're just hanging out, drinking, and doing whatever with everyone else. So that's what makes it cool, because like they actually all hang with like the people that buy the tickets. But yeah, so they have like a huge in New Orleans, where it's going to be again this year. They have like a huge room that has like the biggest shows, and that's usually like they'll have the biggest podcast or like the biggest names in that one. Then they'll have like different live podcasts in these other rooms. But then they have like wrestling. They have like skank fights, they call them, where just anyone can sign up to fight.
Whoa. Like box?
Yeah, they do boxing. They'll have like some like just regular jiu-jitsu, some ones. Then they'll have like boxing. A different one, they'll have like girls will have like socks on, like tube socks, and they need to try to get the tube sock off the other person. And then when they have the Walmart fights, they called it the Walmart parking lot fights, where you have to hold a baby doll in the first and punch each other with the other arm. And then the last one to be holding the baby doll wins. Like if you knock it down, like if you dropped your kid during a fight, Walmart.
Right.
So,
you lose.
Yeah. So they have different fights like that going on too. That was actually the most fun. If you watch those skank fights, that's a wild time.
That's where it's at.
Yeah. But Mark Norman, because I'm not like a pictures guy when it comes to like, I don't like doing like the, hey, can we get a picture? Unless I'm like hanging out with the person for a while, being like, it just feels forced, or I don't like when people specifically go up to people just to get a picture, you know? But I mean, like, I get the sentiment of wanting to have that memory. But it was funny that we were walking around and Quay was like, oh, Mark Norman's there. I'm going to go get a picture with him. I'm like, okay, cool. And this other guy was in line to get a picture. This other guy stopped him and goes, hey, can I get a picture? And Norman's like, yes. And then this other guy's like, oh, can I get one too? He's like, yes. And Quay would have got one. But he goes, yeah, I guess this is the part where it's pretty annoying. People keep asking you. And Mark Norman just goes, sure is. And he walked away, didn't take a picture. It's like, that's awesome. I was laughing so hard.
That's him, though. That's his, like, whenever he's doing when they do Save Our Parks on Rogan, and his watch goes off.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude, it's awesome.
Yeah, no, he's the man. Like I don't know him, but I know pals that do, you know.
How about the come up Shane Gillis has had?
That's pretty wild.
Dude.
I
He
mean,
just played where the Eagles.
that's
Lincoln Financial.
that's
like
the wildest thing.
that's so insane.
Breaking a record for stand-up comedy in that atmosphere. I also want to know, like, it had to have been a fun show.
Right.
I mean, they had to get rappers and stuff to do it.
He had Bam Margera introduce him,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
Though I think they're both from the
Pennsylvania,
Philly
or
area,
somewhere,
or something like that.
But that to have Bam come out and he's like, "Here comes Shane Gillis,"
Yeah.
and then like Shane Gillis has that cool intro,
Yep.
and he goes out, and then I also saw like Chappelle joined him on stage.
Yep. And then they had like 3-6 Mafia. at
Whoa,
the
I
end
didn't know
or
that.
something like that. Yeah. And Meek Mill, because I think it was like Jason Kelsey was up on stage, like riling up the crowd, it looked like. And then they had Meek Mill, and then like Matt McCusker, Big J Okerson, and Shane and Chappelle, and then they had like 3-6 Mafia. I'm like, that is wild.
That is that. Yeah, I would love to be a part because it was so many people, and it's like, okay, how do you do stand up in the middle of a football field in a stadium?
Yeah, because I mean, I do like doing stand up in small. I mean, obviously, I'm not big enough to do the big stadium.
You're selling out the Fargo Dome next week.
Exactly. Like I've done like the Sanctuary, which I think is like 500 seater or something like that, you know. But I'm not doing theaters and stuff. But even there, you kind of got to wait for the laugh to come back from the back of the room. So it is a little bit different. So going in Lincoln Financial has to be just, how long do you have to wait to even talk to get the sound to come back to you?
Well, I did a trivia at the Ralph Engelstad Arena.
Okay.
After the second period, it was just this out of the blue thing. But even there, like on the mic, when I would reply, you would hear the echo throughout the crowd. And before we did it, the guy's like, "Hey, just give it like a second before you say something else." Before we went on, I'm like, "What's he talking about?"
Yeah.
And then I give my answer, and you could just hear it, and then you could hear the response. So I couldn't imagine doing stand up and like telling a story, telling a joke, and then you got to kind of wait, adjust your set a little bit, and then hear the dude. That's a whole other game.
It has to be wild.
Yeah,
yeah. Because even there, like, the biggest one I did still doesn't even have anything close to that, you know. But it's just like still having to learn to slow down while you like tell your jokes. It's
a different animal. I feel like. Who's your favorite comic right now?
I think Gillis is probably up there. My favorite comic of all time is Norm Macdonald.
Oh,
Norm, like, I think he's the king.
He's the
like,
best.
Everything that he said, and he's another guy who just didn't care.
Right,
where it was like, if it's funny, go for it.
Did you ever see the one? So I like the Norm Macdonald show or whatever it was called.
Oh yeah.
And he's interviewing Bob Saget. At the end, Bob Saget's like talking about how after a show, this guy came up and he had lost his son. And Bob's like, I went up to him and I just said, "Hey, it's going to be okay." And I started walking away, and then I turned around and I looked at him and I said, and Norm interrupts him. He goes, "I found your son."
Yeah.
Bob just looks at him and
Dude,
Norm
he just
goes,
shakes his head.
"That was our guest."
Because he does that. Then he has that one with Super Bob where he says like the slave.
Yeah, all the
joke.
crazy jokes.
Yeah. And then just being like, "You can't say that." It's like, "I didn't write it."
I didn't write it.
Yeah, it's on the card, you know? Dude, yeah, doing bits like that is, well, dude, when we did the morning show, because we like, every once in a while we'll do theme shows where it's like, we'll do like a live dating show, things like that. So I went on like Good Morning Fargo or whatever, like, and Quay was with me too. We were sitting there the night before being like, this might suck, but let's figure out something we can do that'll be funny.
On. You're doing a live dating show.
We've done them before.
So
it's like
chicks come in and you like have a first date in front of you, or what?
Oh, so what we do is we like have a panel over here, and then we'll like blind. I'm sure it's like there's other shows that I'm sure that you see on like Instagram and things like that. It's not like a real new premise, but we'll have people sign up to live date on stage.
Oh wow!
So we'll set up a date on stage, and then we'll just kind of riff on the date or help it go along, and it's just like a comedy dating show, which is pretty fun. But we did it around like Valentine's Day.
Oh.
But Quay and I were sitting there being like, how can we make this memorable? And I was like, hey, make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and put it in your pocket. And then we kind of told her to give us a couple questions, or like, they're like, what questions should we ask you? So I knew like kind of what they were going to ask. And I was like, so when they ask this question, take that peanut butter sandwich out of like, because they'll be directing some to you and some to me. When they ask you this one, take out the peanut butter sandwich and just start eating it, and then I'll start talking, and we just won't say anything about it either. And the question came, and I see him look, and he got scared, and I was like, looked back. I'm like, well, I guess I had to like figure out what I was gonna say then.
What'd you say? Was he eating the sandwich?
No, he didn't do it.
He didn't do
so
it.
So now we're gonna try to get back on.
Dude, you got to do that.
I know. No, I was like, this will be awesome.
Just grab a snackable or something and have him undo it with the wrapper.
Dude, yeah, because he made one at home and actually had it like
gosh.
He made it. So it was like the one that was like crappy, like as if you were to just put one in Saran wrap.
Yeah,
you know, and
Napoleon Dynamite,
yeah,
stick it out.
It looked perfect because he came. We were sitting in the green room, and he's like, "Hey," I'm like, "Oh, you do have it." I didn't know if you're going to. I'm like, "This will be awesome." Yeah. So when they say this question, then got up there and then didn't quite get it, but I'm gonna get us back on there.
Yes,
so we can do it.
That would probably go viral on the internet too.
Yeah, right. I'm like, that'd be a pretty good one
because you got to kind of think like that too. Because let's be honest, man, if you are always one clip away from getting a connection that you never thought you'd have, I'm not saying tailor your set or the sketch towards trying to become viral, because I hate social media, but I have to do it.
Yeah,
you have to do it.
100%. Yeah, well, then getting it on the schedule and stuff, being like, if this will get more views at this time and everything.
How do you handle that? Because I'm struggling with that.
Not good. I don't know. I'd be bigger than I was if it was. Well, that's the one thing I don't like about social media stuff too. Like they're like, you got to post this many times a week or this many times a day to get traction, and I'm like, I don't really want to make my friends have to look at me that much. You know, where I'm like, I like to wait to have a post that maybe means something or something. You know, where it's just kind of like, but I guess I should start doing it more. But
I had a business meeting that my friend set up for me. It was, do you know who Gary Vee is? He's like, it was his like right-hand man.
Wow.
And so I had this Zoom meeting with this guy, and I was telling him about swim lessons and telling him about this platform I'm trying to create. And this is like last year. And he's like, okay, this looks good. You're consistent. You got good cover photos. Okay, you're short. He's like, okay, here's my challenge to you. He's like, every day for the next 3 months, post 3 YouTube shorts. I'm like, 3 in a week? He's like, 3 a day.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, that's a lot. I'm like, do you think people get sick of it? And then like, nope, you'll grow your audience. So I did it for a week, but I'm a dad. I have a farm. I do a lot of stuff, but that's always in the back of my mind. I'm like, so then I just said to myself, okay, every Sunday, I'm going to sit down at 7 p.m. and I'm going to create as many shorts as I can, try to space them out and try to do 1 a week, because I feel like that helps your algorithm more than anything. So I did that, but then it's like, okay, then I got to post one to Instagram. Okay, should I do X too? What about Facebook? Yeah. And then it's like all of a sudden, one reel takes you 30 to 40 minutes after you're done editing it. That's a lot of time.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm the only one that works for me. Yeah. So it's not like I have an editor that'll do these snippets for me, or I got to line up guests. I got to figure out equipment. I got to see, okay, this camera, I got to upload this footage. Like today, I'm doing 3 of these. Nice. And I just did one with the track announcer of North Dakota. Bubby Har, he was really cool. Now I'm doing you. And then after this, I'm going to go to the races. And then on my way home, I'm going to stop in Mayville and do one with their football coach. Sweet. So like, it's like, okay, I got to time these out perfect. I got to make sure I have enough memory space in the camera. There's a lot more than just worrying about 3 a day. Yep. You know what I mean? Oh yeah. And I wonder about that, where I'm like, well, I want this clip to mean something. I like take the time to be like, oh, this is something that I think is funny that'll draw the audience here. And if I'm just trying to be like, I need this many, I don't want like the quality of the stuff to lack. Same with like, I should put more of my stand-up on online. Dude, you should for that. But that's just another thing where I'm like, well, if I put this clip out, like I have a couple out already that I changed stuff in it. I'm like, I hate that I said that other stuff in that past one because it's not as good. So then I get scared of doing that, you know, being like, well, I put out a clip that like, I think, well, it's funny then, but now it's funnier. So, but I guess now if people see me, they'll hear the new version. So, right. Do you see that middle camera? Okay. So that's a DJI Osmo. Dude, they're so handy. It goes on both sides. Yeah. And well, no, it's in the middle, but it's got a built-in gimbal. So like it's always in balance. So you could even set one of those up like in the back of the club and record everything. Yeah, I do. I mean, I record all my sets. Do you? Okay. For, well, at least audio. I don't record everything video, but if I'm at the club and stuff like that, and I'm usually not recording bar shows, which I guess I should do that too. But it's like, I have footage of myself for sure. It's just,
having to be like, well, I guess I'll show people
what's going on. Yeah.
And I made a dumb joke about buying meth and fireworks on Facebook, and now they're not showing my content to people for a month. So I'm not getting the algorithm in Instagram and Facebook right now. Meta's like, some guy had something about like, oh, look at this methed out guy. He's like, this guy does meth and fireworks. It was something dumb. And I'm like, well, dude, if I could buy meth and fireworks at the same place, that'd save me so much more time. Like, then I don't need to go get my meth and my fireworks. They should sell meth at fireworks stores. And then, Jesus. And then Facebook was like, someone must have reported it, which I thought was funny. Yeah. But they were like, this is against our guidelines. You can't be promoting drugs. I'm like, that's obviously I even rebutted it, and they still were like, no, it's against guidelines.
Yeah. Some lady that probably watched you be this great football star with 2 broken arms is like watching your Facebook like, oh my God, I got to report this.
Yeah. You're like, what? Okay.
What's Blaise doing? He's buying meth and fireworks. We got to report this.
Yeah.
The poor guy sitting at Facebook's like, oh no, another Karen. Oh, this guy. Okay, this is I better report that. That's
Well, that's the thing too. If there's actually someone reading that to be like, oh, is this actually bad? It's not even if you get something reported and it's taken down for going against guidelines, you can like do a rebuttal or whatever and then say why. So I said it was a joke.
Yeah. What is your writing process like? Like, do you sit down with a notepad, pen and paper, or sit in front of the computer? What do you do? What's your writing process?
I can't really do that. That just doesn't, I can't do that for some reason. But I mean, a lot of it is just talking with my buddies, dinking around, and then I'll just see, I'll be like, that's funny. Then I'll write a note on that. And then I'll just kind of see like, is that just like a total general thing or whatever? Is it like, is this just a topic, or is it like, is that a punchline? And then kind of write to be like, do I got to get to this punchline, or where can I go with this ridiculous topic to make it into like a funny story or something like that? I draw a lot of stuff just from saying dumb stuff and just that's what people are always like, what's your comedy like? I'm like, it's all over the board. It's like I have a bunch of dumb one-liners, like, because like I have one joke that I'm just like, I got an Amber Alert today, like, which isn't good. I don't like, you don't want to get an Amber Alert, but like, I think they need to change the name of Amber Alert, because that just kind of sounds like what a gay guy would say if you came in wearing that color. It'd be like, oh, Amber Alert. Like, yeah, right. So that's just like one of I love saying that one. And like, I have some friends are like, that's awesome. And sometimes it'll just bomb.
What?
But I'm like, but that's kind of like, that's one where I just like, Amber Alert sounds like something a gay guy would say. So then it's like, oh, something like that. And then, I don't know, also think of different stories about like, well, I got 2 DUIs through. Do
you actually?
Yeah, in my early 20s, because I'm cool. It's like, and that's the other thing is like, out of like tragedy and stuff like that is how you kind of like, you can just play stuff off like that. But even saying that like, I got 2 DUIs because I'm cool, you'll see people shake their heads to be like,
it's a joke.
I'm like, obviously I'm joking.
Yeah.
I'm like, but I think it's funny to frame it like that. Like, I'm so cool that I got caught drinking and driving twice. But then
no Canada shows for Blaise.
Yeah, exactly. The crazy thing is, I know guys who have like 4 DUIs that will just like go to Canada, and I'm like,
what?
How do you get through there? I don't know. But yeah, so I'll talk about that, and then just draw stuff from real life, because the second time, like, you have to go when you get a DUI, you have to go like get a eval from a psychologist to be like, are you an alcoholic?
Oh boy.
And so like I was like 23. I'm like, no, I'm just partying, dude. It's like a drink on the weekends. But the woman, like, you lie all the time on those things. Obviously, they're like, how many beers do you have a week? And you're like, well, I just graduated college. It's like, I'll go out and have 30 beers on a Saturday. It's like, what's the most that you drink in a day? And I'm like, well, probably like 30. But just like, what's the least you drink? I'm like 0, which is most days, But then I said like numbers that were more like acceptable to her,
Yeah, 3 to 5.
Yeah, exactly. At the most ever.
Yeah.
I've never actually been buzzed. So it's
Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Yeah. But then she told me, she's like, do you get hangovers? I'm like, no, I don't. I was 23. I wasn't getting hangovers.
Right.
And she's like, well, that's because you're addicted to alcohol.
Ooh.
And I was like,
Gotcha.
oh, she's like, but that's the only one that you really didn't. Everything else is fine. You're not addicted to alcohol. You just were having a good time. Like, yep.
Boom.
Then
I'm clean.
Yeah. Then like 3 years later, I got another DUI and had to go to her again. And I'm like, well, I remember all my answers and I passed it last time. So I'll just say that again. And then we got to the one where it goes, hey, do you get hangovers? I go, yes, I do. I'm like, I get a bad headache and my stomach hurts and just my day sucks after and she goes, well, that's because you're addicted to alcohol. And I'm like, there's no winning that. That's one that you're just going to say no matter what. I'm like, I wanted to be like, listen, lady, I lied this time. you know, like, but I think that's funny. So I'll talk about stuff like that, where it's like, I'll draw stuff from real life and then just dumb jokes like that other one.
I'm sure you could do some stuff like, also like your dating life. That's got to be interesting in today's world.
Yeah. I mean, I'm busy all the time, so I don't date a lot. It's like, dude, I'll make out with a chick at the bars. It's like, I have the dating life of a college kid kind of right now. So it's like, yeah, that's another thing that you just got to navigate where that's the same thing. I mean, I was kind of seeing this girl for a little bit, but then it would just be like my most recent relationship. Then it was like, oh yeah, well, I'm going to go to open mic 3 nights a week. I don't need to stay there the whole time, but I'm going to be gone doing this. And then most weekends I will be gone doing shows. So you do got to find someone that has a schedule that's kind of like yours,
Yeah, and they accept it, but also to play devil's advocate too, a chick could be, oh wow, he really believes in his dream.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And that's a valuable thing.
Yeah, I shouldn't sound like I'm
right.
So
I got
bad. I really don't care, but it's like, yeah, at this point, it is just like I'm putting comedy first before everything right now.
When you were with Swartzen, so we never kind of got what was it? Yeah. What was he like to talk to?
He's the man. He's the coolest guy. Yeah, because there was one time where I actually got drunk with him when he was in before I started doing comedy, and he just had his show at the Fargo Theater. So it was him and Josh Duhamel were actually both in the Hodo, if you remember. Now it's the Blarney Stone downtown. Yep. But like Swartzen was outside and we're like, oh, what up, dude? And we just went inside and then didn't say anything where everyone else was kind of hassling him. And he came up to us and was like, everyone else is like kind of annoying me. Can I sit with you guys? Because you guys didn't like really annoy me. You just said, hey, and like, we're fans. So he sat down there and he was drinking with us. And I was like, he's like, let's do shots of tequila. And I was like,
oh boy,
awesome. He's like, yeah, Blaise, go get the shots. And I was like, didn't have money at the time. And I was working like a warehouse or something like that. And I like go over, I'm like, I'll take 7 shots of tequila or whatever. They're like, what kind of tequila? I'm like, well, I can't buy a rail. Like I work for my other friends.
For Swartzen.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm middle of the road, whatever. But it was a brown tequila, and brown tequila never looks good, no matter if it's a good one or not. They bring it back to the table, and Swartzen just goes, oh yeah, let's just wait a second to take these. And then he like whispers in her ear and she brings back like another clear one. Oh, also when I was up there, he's like, obviously put them on my tab, but I already paid. And I was like, God damn, why didn't you say that earlier?
Yeah.
I would have, but yeah, I mean, so he took shots with us and drank that night. And then Josh Duhamel, I went up to him. This was before he was with his current girlfriend between Fergie and stuff. There's just girls sitting around his table.
Speaking of good-looking cats.
Yeah, very good-looking guy. I'm trying to get him on the podcast.
Ooh.
But I went up to him and I'm like, hey, Josh Duhamel, Fast and the Furious, great movie. He's like, I wasn't in that. And I said like 2 other movies he for sure wasn't in. And I was like, Marley and Me. I know you from Marley and Me. And he's like, what the hell, dude? I'm like, just kidding. Your sister played basketball with my sister in Williston.
Oh, nice.
He's like, okay. I'm like, oh, that probably did make me look like a dick, but I genuinely was just goofing around.
That is funny though, Marley and Me.
Yeah, and to just go up and say movies that he obviously isn't in.
He was just on the Sean Ryan, or not just, but he was a while ago on the Sean Ryan podcast, and he's like spending a lot of time out here.
Oh, he's always here.
Area.
I mean, I think you go to Dive Bar, like bar down in West Fargo. I think they eat there quite a bit. Or people say that they see him there a lot.
I mean, it's cool though that he recognizes that North Dakota isn't like everywhere.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know that too because I spent 4 years in Arizona and I came back. There's just something about it. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I think it is
home.
just yeah. There is a weird thing. That's why it is kind of hard to leave North Dakota due to the fact that you do have just a genuine like aura here that like other places don't have. And you really can leave whenever you want. I mean, like in a sense, you fly out of Fargo, you can fly for not that expensive anywhere in the country and get away when you want to.
Hey, Minneapolis is only 3 hours away?
Yeah.
So you can go there too. And it's, but it's just, I'm seeing so many, especially like today, I don't know. I mean, the world is a crazy spot right now, but so many people like leaving Los Angeles or leaving a big city and coming back to these small towns. And it's kind of like a good time. I spend a lot of time in Crosby where I'm from.
Yeah.
Like I said, I have a house there and I farm with my dad, but I also spend a lot of time in Minot with Kristen and my son, Kate. So it's like I'm kind of getting the best of both where I get to see kind of the city life, but also go back to the small town.
For sure.
Do you ever go back to Mater or the region?
My parents moved to Hettinger now.
Boo.
Yeah,
no, I'm
right?
just kidding.
Yeah. So it does suck driving an extra 45 minutes home there. But I have 5 brothers and sisters that are all like way older than me. So they like have kids that are in high school and stuff. So my parents come up here pretty frequently. So I just don't go back.
I was just thinking about this. So you said you and maybe Quay and a few other comedians, you're kind of looking to book shows around the state?
Oh, all the time, yeah.
Dude, you guys should come up to Crosby.
Yeah.
I should hook that up.
Give me a contact.
I should figure that out. I'll do a comedy night up there. I know enough of the bars.
Hell yeah.
We can set up a stage and have comedy night in Crosby.
Yeah, let's figure out a date.
Dude, let's do that.
I'll get a date like the night before. Yeah, figure out a Saturday or Friday and I'll get another show bars around there the next night at a different town. So
let's link that up.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking to book in right now. So like this is where I'm going. Oh, so far like I'm featuring at the Cellar 28th and 29th here if anyone's listening.
Yes, hell yeah.
And then so far we're also I guess then September 17th I'll have a show in Fargo too. But other than that, I have some corporates booked in December and shows in January so far. So I got dates to fill.
Are those corporate shows tough?
Depends which one you're doing.
Yeah.
It is kind of funny when corporate shows, when they say that you can be as dirty as you want. And
there's still a line.
Just to not care. You know what? I wouldn't even say there's a line. I'd say that I still don't do all that material still too, because it's kind of like you're not going to bring your mom and dad to a fart and dick joke.
Yeah.
Show for the most part, depending on who your parents are, I guess. But that's kind of what you're doing if you're going to a show with your boss and the HR ladies and you're laughing at people having sex with their grandma or something. You're like, they're all going to be like, oh, like, can I laugh at that? Mm-hmm. So I think that's the hardest part about some corporates is just being like, what can I say that isn't going to get some of those people like, you just do cleaner comedy, I guess, but it's usually not that hard. The hard part is when they're like, like you're in a big room, like this would be a smaller room, but if you're in a bigger hotel room where, weddings and stuff take place half the time and they don't turn the lights off. Oh. And so people are still like eating while you're talking and things like that, like the catering's coming in for this at this time, and then half the people are talking because it's just there. You're
hearing forks hit the plate, and
so it's just like, so there's stuff like that, but I don't know, but you get paid. I mean, you get paid more, so it's like you don't feel that bad about it.
Yeah, it's a two-sided coin almost. You got to kind of do it to get money, but also going in, okay, this can go really good or really bad.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just kind of, I mean, there's a plumbing company that's hired us a few times. They rule because they just set up. They just like set up their back room like a comedy club kind of, and you're like, oh, and these are all like blue collar guys, so that stuff kind of rules. But it just kind of depends where you're going. But sometimes it is nicer when they're like, you need to do clean comedy. You're like, well, at least I know the line, because other places obviously are like, well, don't make jokes about this or actually one of the craziest times we did one for the National Guard.
Oh boy.
And Aiden McCluskey was with us. He's actually kind of blown up. Check out Aiden McCluskey. He's from Minneapolis. Well, based out of Minneapolis. He's from Wisconsin, but he's the man, and he's just got on Kill Tony not that long ago. But he opens for Soder and stuff. And,
oh wow!
But yeah, he's the man. So keep an eye on him. But he came with me and my buddy Josh to do this corporate for the National Guard in Bismarck, and they're like, "You guys are going to set up here, and then like we'll do the lights and stuff." We're like, "Okay." But they said, don't make any like gay trans jokes. Don't make jokes about suicide. Don't make jokes about like, obviously like the troops or whatever like that. And then I go up there and I'm starting off the show. And there's this table that has a folded flag and something and like a rose on it.
Oh no.
And they told us just to stand right beside that. I swung my arm out at one time and I knocked it over. I knocked over the rose and the folded flag. And there was, dude, before the rose even hit the ground, I swear that like some of the people were up there like putting it back up. And I was like, and they're moving the table along to the side. I'm like, oh no, guys, that's fine. You can leave that table there. They're like, shut the fuck up. I'm like, what's going on here? They're like, that's for the fallen soldier who killed himself. You're like, oh no. Like, and I knocked over the table. So I was like, well, that's about time for me. Here's my buddy Josh DeLay. Yeah. Which I was like, oh man. But also they didn't. What Aiden and Josh told me is someone came up to them right before that and it was like, hey, I forgot to tell you guys, that's for the fallen soldier who died last week. So don't touch it or anything like that. I'm the only one who didn't get that. and then it was sitting right. I'm like, you shouldn't have had that there in the first place. But yeah, I knocked it over. And then I'm like, oh boy. So then my buddy Josh goes up and then he starts doing a little crowd work and he's like, you two together? And I'm like, no. And like, you two? And I was like, no. And then it ended up being like the two guys together. And he was like, oh, 2025. I guess we can just do whatever now. You know? It was like joking around. Everyone was laughing, but I was also like, well, they said not to do that. And then like Aiden had a couple of jokes about him. He's like, oh, I should just kill myself, right? You know? It was like, and then I was like sitting there right afterwards. We're like, we got to go grab that cash from those people right away so that they give it. They were all good sports and stuff. But I'm like, oh, we actually did do the three things that you weren't supposed to do. And started off by knocking over a table. You're like, oh no.
Boy, bad start.
Yeah, but I mean, all right story.
Yeah, it worked out.
Yeah, and everyone at the end was like, we didn't tell you. But yeah, that happened at a corporate. Oh, you got paid.
Yeah, you got paid.
Yeah.
Well, listen, man, we've been at this for an hour. I appreciate it. Okay, everybody follow I Woke Up For This on YouTube, right?
YouTube, Spotify,
Apple.
Yeah, it's on all the streaming services. Yeah, YouTube's probably the best one. I think you have to type in like I Woke Up For This podcast or just my name with it. It's probably the easiest way to find it. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And what about social media for yourself?
Social media for myself would be Blaise. Just follow me on my Instagram, which is Blaiser KBLAISER Kautz KAUTZ. So
Blaise is the best first name, by the way. That's so sick.
Well, that's my parents gave me a layup for jokes there because I look like this. Like I'm 36. I'm like, we're gonna have a 36-year-old stoner someday. And like they kind of knock it out of the park. Well, my brothers and sisters are named Mike, Steve, Jill, Patty, and Brian. So it's just
then they're just like Blaise.
Like, what's this one?
Blaise.
Yeah, but yeah, Blaiser Kautzman on Instagram, and then I think that if you just Google I Woke Up For This pod.
I love you, man. And I keep going. Keep going. It's going to work out. It has to, man. And you have a gift and just keep exploring that gift. It will come around, man. I believe in you. And I know a lot of other people that listen to your stuff. They believe in you too, man. And it will get there one day.
Cool. Well, you too. Thanks.
Well, appreciate
thanks for doing this. And it's awesome seeing you do this too.
Yeah, man. I'm glad we finally got to do this.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Listen, Blaise, Swim Lessons is a podcast about overcoming tough times. Leave us with something. It can be a story, a quote, something that got you out of a dark time and brought you to the light.
I guess overall, I mean, even with like those DUIs and stuff like that, like, I guess there's different stuff that I have came over where like people are kind of like, what has ever happened in your life? But my brother-in-law died when I was like 18. And he was like, at the time when you're like a transitional period, when you're younger, you're like, no one understands me. Here's something, you know, where I didn't know what I wanted to do in life. Didn't know like what I wanted to do in college. And I'm just a goofy idiot, you know, where like my parents knew I was a goofy idiot, but they were just like, you know, not sound bad because of my family rules, but I was like, oh, my brother-in-law, who's like, he was a goofy dude, who seemed like he was one of the few guys who like kind of understood me, you know, that I was like, oh,
you're different,
you know, and he was like a funny guy to go along with too. And then he got hantavirus.
What?
And died. Like he just got sick one day, and then we just went to the hospital. They're like, oh, they're transporting him to Bismarck from Hettinger. I was like, maybe you guys should come here. And I was like one of the last people with him in the room before he died. Like I remember just being like, dude, you can't die here.
Yeah.
You know, and you're the guy who gets me, you know? And then then he died. And it was just like, so getting over like grief and stuff like that, like, especially with someone that's close to you, that took me like a long time to kind of get over. Just being able to see someone like that, you know, in like a helpless position, which I think that what that helped me overcome is like, oh, life is short. Like, just do what you want to do, because he was 29. I'm like, that'd be me dying 7 years ago. And so like, just every day do what you want, and don't take life too serious, because, you know, if you just save for retirement and you don't ever get to experience it, what's the point?
What's the point?
So,
and another way too is you can remember him and live through him by doing what you're doing today.
Yeah, exactly.
Being funny.
Yeah, and that's another thing is you're like, well, I can joke about that. Like, right. I'm like, and maybe that's, some people don't like when I joke about death and stuff like that, but I'm like, but to be honest, why not joke about
what
it?
else do we have?
Yeah. Exactly.
You gotta, everybody has a different way of grieving.
Yep.
And you can't judge a person by the way they do it, or judge a person how they don't do it. Everybody's different.
Yeah.
And everybody doesn't have the same career paths. And
For
I
sure.
think that's why, man, ever since I found you, I was like, okay, I like this. This guy's putting his neck out there. He's trying something different. He's not just going to work at BNC National Bank and following a career path. And like you said, I meet so many people in my life that I appreciate it. How many people I get to meet, whether it's doing a podcast or a sporting event. And I get, they're such a good person. They have so many capabilities, but yet they tell me how they hate their job 8 to 5.
Yeah.
And how they just can't wait for the weekend. And then they restart. And then, dude, by the time they get old enough, it's like they're either too tired or they get sick or something bad happens, and then it's over.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're put here to not have fun, but we're put here to do something.
Yeah.
And sometimes we don't know what that is, and we'll figure it out along the way, but it's something.
Exactly.
And for you, I think you have one of the best jobs, and it's the best medicine, laughter.
Yeah.
That's like literally, like whenever I'm having a bad day, I remember when I was young, I stayed home from school, and I wasn't that sick, but I was kind of sick. And my mom was watching Live with Regis and Kelly. Nice. And Don Rickles came on, and he just threw it down.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this? And I found out he's a stand-up comedian. So now I always, by the way, he would be canceled right away today.
Oh, yeah.
But he was so funny.
Oh, yeah. He didn't care at all.
He was the best, dude.
Yeah. Well, and I think everyone that's one of those things that if you know someone's joking, say whatever, you know, where other people might not think that. But I'm like, if you're joking, truly say it, whatever.
Yeah. 1,000%. It's tough to, and maybe, you know, those people I'm talking about, like they have different things. They got kids, they got things they have to financially, and I get it 1,000%. But sometime in your life, just find something that makes you happy.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that job. I mean, you might have to do it, but just still on the weekends, find something that makes you happy.
Yep.
And just do that.
Yeah.
The world will be a better place.
Truly.
The world will be a better place. There's more Blaise Kautzman.
Awesome.
You're the best, man. Wish you the best. And everybody go follow Blaise. Follow I Woke Up For This. And best of luck in the future, my brother.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, dude.
You're the man. That's a wrap. Thanks, everybody.